Right, hello, good morning, and welcome to the show. This is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. It's a Friday, the 12th day of April, 2024. Well, you see how odd it feels like having to wake up and go to bed. Okay, so starting a hashtag today, bang the holiday. Okay, on Wednesday I said bang the damn holiday. That was just off the cover. Bang the holiday, bang the holiday. And we'll try and see what we're going to do about it. But a hashtag, I want to rally as much support as I can to get the relevant authorities to learn to bank the holiday. Anyway, well, by His grace, we're live and we're here with yet another edition of Good Morning Ghana. Of course, I'll let you into our panel for the morning's conversation shortly, but let's take a look at the front pages of our newspapers. Daily Graphic: Islam opposes LGBTQI+. I can't support practice. Baumia. National discourses too toxic. Professor Edu Buando. Ghana to host conference on cashew industry. The Ghanaian Times: Performance tracker. Government executes over 13,000 projects so far. Minister of Works and Housing announces fetish priest in custody for spreading false information. Dr. Baumia denounces LGBTQ+ on Eid al-Fitr Day. My faith is against it. Fire outbreak at Jamestown. 500 structures burnt. Hundreds rendered homeless. Daily Guide: Baumia rejects LGBTQ+. Ejisu by-election. EC opens nominations. Airport staff interdicted over cocaine smuggling. Shun divisiveness. Nana tells Ghanaians. Kozi donates materials to Ashali Butchie Mosque. Amelia Kozi. The Insight: Electrochem peddling lies over Songo salt. Ada Songo Lagoon Association insists as it rejects claims by President Akufo-Addo. Mahama endorses Susu's Persons with Disabilities Bill for 5 minimum employment of people with disability in institutions. Free SHS. Every sensible person will opt for a review. Professor Frimpong Boatin. Mahama leads Baumia by nearly 20% votes in new info analytics poll. Farmers in the Fija Kwabre North benefit from MP's benevolence. That's the Honorable Collins Abdumako Mensa. The Informer: I'm opposed to LGBTQ+. Baumia declares. LGBTQ+ bill. Be bold. Pastor urges Akufo-Addo to shred off intimidation. Prevent rampant road crashes. New policy on broken down vehicles soon. National Road Safety Authority. Non-working housing sector laws. Tenants vulnerable. Consultant. Corruption-related investigation. Scholarship Secretariat on our radar. OSP. The Inquisitor: Joabin NPP Chairman buffoonery against Napo. Agenda rubbished. Chairman Fifi Jokard speak. Tribute to Kojo Mabu. The simple easygoing man is gone. Suhum MP dribbles Eastern Region MPP Chairman. Crucial meeting cancelled. New customs boss to shift tables. The Daily Statesman: I'm against LGBTQI+. Baumia declares. Kojo Nkrumah performance tracker reflects government commitment to effective governance. Muslims urged to promote peace. Dr. Gideon Buako supports artisans and apprentices in Tano North. NBA: no approval for 14 GM seeds for cultivation. The Daily Searchlight: Baumia kicks against LGBTQI+ during its celebrations in Kumasi yesterday. Let us be peace ahead of elections. I'm a dear leader. Live for tolerance and peaceful coexistence among religions. President. NACOC seizes suspected cannabis package bound for the United Kingdom. Consume more eggs for a healthy growth. Comfort a champion urges Ghanaians. Now, Ken Crunchy and your guys at the Searchlight, there's a problem with your printing. It makes reading extremely difficult. You need to really strain to read. You need to check it out. There's a problem with your printing. Please try and check it out. It's been so for some time now. The Ghanaian Publisher: Baumia says no to LGBTQ+. Akufo-Addo promotes peace ahead of elections. EC designates 288 registration centers. Transport fare increase shut down. The Custodian: I'm against LGBTQ+. Baumia declares. 288 voter registration centers ready. Government launches performance tracker. Gideon Buako empowers artisans and apprentices in Tano North. The new finder, over 13,000 projects listed on performance tracker. President caution against divisive politics ahead of elections. No to LGBTQI+, under my leadership, Dr. Bawumia declares. ECG rejects alleged forex manipulation deal with Fidelity Bank. Daily Post, ignore NPP, free SHS will thrive under Mahama, APAC. 2024 polls, I'm not a clearing agent. I won't interfere in corruption fight, Mahama. MPs and DCs of Afram Plains in meeting with Volta Lake Transport Company to discuss challenges of ferry services. Akufo-Addo's claims about Electrochem Limited sea salt farming project at Adan are lies, says Adan Songo Lagoon Association. And that's about it for the front pages. We'll be back shortly. Right, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. With me on the show this morning, I have Nana Kumia, who is the Vice Chairman of the Bawumia 2024 campaign. Nana, good morning.
Morning, Randy.
Also with me on the show this morning is a Member of Parliament for the North Tongue constituency. Between last Friday and this Friday, I have not heard any escapades of his, unless I've missed out on something. So it means that at least for a week, he's been observing the Eid.
No, idle.
He's been idle. Yeah. Okay. So Samuel Okuja Ablakwa is the Honourable Member of Parliament for the North Tongue constituency. Good morning, Sammy.
Hi, good morning, Doc. Good to see you. Good morning, Nana.
Why have you been idle? Nana says you've been idle.
No, I've been busy in the constituency. I mean, lots of things are happening in my constituency.
Oh, that's not what we mean by you being busy.
You're talking about my investigative
The previous
prowess.
week you had three issues in 1 week.
Yeah.
This week, 0.
Yeah, because I've been following up, a number of follow-up actions. Okay. My lawyers were instructed they are going to court. There's the OSP angle. There's a motion for Parliament. So we're doing the follow-up actions on those scandals, particularly the 2.6 billion CD digitalization duplications in the health space. So this week I decided to carry out the follow-up actions as promised, and then to spend more time in the constituency. We commissioned the CTFM Foundation and Ghana Chamber of Mines sponsored health center in Mepe. So for the first time, the people of Mepe have a health center. Previously, they were relying on the Bator Catholic Hospital, and they just had a few chips compounds which were submerged due to the spillage from the Akosombo Dam. Now they have a modern health center. And I do like the design very much. And I think that the government should consider the design and adopt it as a model across the country, because it comes integrated with bungalows for staff, the nurses, the midwives, and when it's upgraded, the doctors who will work there. The good news is that my partners in the US, SOS International, have approved my request for a 40-footer container of medical equipment, which have been shipped. They're on the high seas, and so we're going to fully equip that health center. It will soon be a hospital, because I have plans of expanding, giving it a surgical theater, a pediatric block, and possibly a maternity block in no time, because we have the medical equipment now, and there's no need wasting this medical equipment, which are arriving soon. So I want to thank the Ghana Chamber of Mines. They've done a great job. 1.5 million CD is the cost of that project. So that's no small amount. They have done very, very well. In addition to that, they are helping us improve sanitation, 400,000 CDs for public toilets in the Mepe enclave, because the Ghana Medical Association during the spillage raised concerns about insanitary conditions, which led to people presenting with cholera, typhoid, and other, insanitary diseases. So the Chamber of Mines is helping us to address that. I must say that Ghanaians have really been phenomenal with their support. And why we are so excited about this hospital is that we didn't benefit from government's Agenda 111. I've always been wondering why. Because the criteria they established was that districts...
Is that a place?
Yes, districts that do not have district hospitals, as in government hospitals, will qualify. But surprisingly, Northtown didn't make it to the list. It's the Bator Catholic Hospital, which is not a government hospital. That's under CHAC. This is the Catholics who helped us with that since the 50s, and it's really been our saving grace. So this is great news. We just loving it.
Is that Samens there?
Yes, Samens was there. Bernard Avle, general manager, was there. Then Mr. Mototi, the president of the Ghana Chamber of Mines, was there himself. All his vice presidents, the CEO of the chamber was also in attendance. It was a really, really lovely event, and I want to thank the Chamber of Mines very, very much. And it tells you what we can achieve. We did this in less than 2 months. Less than 2 months, and 1.5 million. Only God knows how many months it will have taken if it was a regular government project, and even the cost. So what we are learning,
talking about that,
what we are learning from these interventions is that, look, we can do things
talking about
far
that,
less and more efficient.
The new Minister for Works and Housing,
yes,
has been at the place.
Yes, he has visited.
They say government is now rolling out stuff.
Yes, he's announced that government will soon commence work. So yes, I can confirm that he has visited, and work hasn't started in terms of the actual construction from the Ministry of Works and Housing. The District Assembly's Common Fund Secretariat, they have also come in there. They have started some work. They've brought in workers, and they are beginning to dig foundations. So I think that District Assembly Common Fund is ahead of the Ministry of Works and Housing. But we are beginning to see government rise up to their obligations. And as they say, better late than never, because many people don't realize that as we speak, about 7 months down the lane, there are people still living in tents. Many people forget that. If you go to Dagome, if you go to Agbetipo, Dofwa-Didome, you go to Cassava, there are people who are living in tents, roughly about 2,000 people. So even though we have rolled out 2 major housing initiatives, and we've started the 3rd one, the MP and Partners projects, we still need more housing. And then we have not addressed the vexed matter of compensation. I will have thought that at least as for compensation, because that doesn't require much. The data is available. The farming season is upon us. The people are largely farmers. What does it take to help them with compensation so they can go back to their farms, to their livelihoods?
Are these some of the tents that people are still staying in?
Yes, people are still living in these tents. So there's been a lot of work in the constituency. As part of the Eid programs too, let me extend warm regards to our Muslim brothers and sisters, Ramadan Kareem to all of them, and particularly the National Chief Imam. You know that he's really taken a liking to me and my constituency. Yeah. So we named a block after him. He was the first to donate 70,000 cedis for the construction of our 2nd settlement. And so it's named after him, the Sheikh Sharabutu block. And everybody wants to be in that block. There's a mad rush to be in that block. People consider it a very blessed block. But in terms of the Zongo communities, we've been rolling out new mosques. We're constructing 10 new mosques. Some NGOs, Islamic NGOs and Islamic embassies of Islamic nations are helping us with that. Some of the mosques that were submerged are being reconstructed, and we're building new ones. And it's coming with mechanized water systems, and then wash. So improve sanitation for the constituents in terms of public toilets and hand washing systems and all of that, the whole complement. It's a very, very interesting initiative. And if you go to the Muslim community called Dramani Copper. They have received yes. So the other 9 are almost completed. And then yesterday, I continued with phase 2. I have this initiative to help the girl child stay in school. So we are providing bicycles to facilitate their transport to and from school. So yesterday we did phase 2. Phase 1 was in the Aveime Batomepe enclave. Phase 2, we did it in Joapong to cover those in the Podoi, Fujoku, Togoma, Volu, Tagaji enclave. And it's an initiative that has really helped. It's helped with retention. The Islamic Girls Basic School we have had 100% this time in their BEC, and we're also excited about that. We gave the headmistress and the staff a special award for that. And the initiatives we are rolling out, including free sanitary pads, including scholarships for these girls who make it to the universities. And some of them are doing very good engineering programs. This year we'll be graduating our first aeronautical engineer from Japan. Yes, a female, whose father died before she was born, before the mother reached 9 months, and the mother, charcoal seller. But so brilliant. She's done so well. She's at KNUST. I'll be at her graduation. She's done so well. So these interventions are working, and I'm really excited about the prospects and the future for our community, seeing how these young ladies are really achieving and making a mark in the community. So that's been my week. Lots of initiatives and interventions in the constituency. Next week I'll return to.
What are you doing with bicycles?
Oversight. Yeah, that's what I was talking about yesterday. I handed out bicycles to females.
You ride
people's.
Yourself?
Yes.
You know how to ride?
Yes, I do. I do know how to ride. Yes, so that it facilitates their travel. With bicycles, no need to buy fuel, and then it's fun. It's also a way of exercising. And except that the boys are getting angry with me that I'm discriminating because this is phase 2 and it's all going to girls. But it's because we have a challenge with the dropout rate. You see, at P1, it's all the same numbers, equal in terms of the ratio, boys, girls. But by the time they are getting to JHS and SHS, the girls drop out. So these are interventions to improve retention so that they will stay in the schools and be motivated. That particularly in our Zongo communities, it's a big challenge. So that's why we're rolling out these interventions. So it was good. It was really a nice time yesterday in Japan Zongo.
So eventually government has agreed to do something. So we're waiting to see.
Yes. It is very clear that the new minister for Works and our own good friend, Kojo Nkrumah, has brought a certain energy to the business of supporting the people who were affected by the spillage of the Akosobo Dam a couple of months ago. And I'm happy that Sabio Kujato has told us that he's been engaging quite well with Kojo Nkrumah, the new minister. Also, CTFM, they've done well. They've put up a good facility. I saw a report about it over the weekend, and Media House, they deserve commendation. Sami was talking about the clinic, health facility. You were saying that the model.
Yeah,
it's
really.
I think it's becoming a model that has been adopted by the health institutions in terms of the design of basic facilities. Because there's one in my village, in my town, in Sutem. And when I look at the photo, it's just similar.
Okay. Did it come with bungalows?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It came with bungalows on the left side for the nurses.
Oh, nice.
But if you, I have a photo here. I'll show it to you when we break it. The same design, and incidentally, that health facility at Institute was named after my auntie,
Oh,
who
interesting.
was the first nurse in the town.
Okay.
She qualified as a state registered nurse before I was born.
Okay.
And in recognition of the work that she's done in health, they named the clinic at Institute after her. She's Susanna Chum. And so the clinic is called Susanna Chum Clinic. And we commissioned it over the Easter. So I was present.
This sister.
Yeah.
Okay.
Last 2 weeks, this commission. And we had a bust of her. And then a library too was commissioned in the town. The library too was named after one gentleman in Insutem that I did not meet. And he himself didn't have formal education.
Okay.
It's called Openyin Date. He himself didn't have formal education. But anytime he met children of school-going age, loitering, he would take it upon himself to chase you, catch you, give you a few whacks, and take you to school. Wow. And this was way before I was born. And he himself didn't have any formal schooling, but he was very clear in his mind in that time that the education was the way for the young people. And he took it upon himself to make sure that all the children in Insutem at that time attended school. And one of his children became the first lawyer. He's now retired. And so the library was named after him. And then we have this bust, the chief of Insutem had the bust made. And then the bust of my auntie, Mrs. Chung, also made for the clinic. And the clinic also has bungalows on the side for the nurses. I suspect it's a new prototype. But now that Kojo Opon Nkrumah has come, I'm sure we would see a lot more government activity in supporting your work, in relieving. But the last work that I saw showed that the NPP was gaining grounds in the Volta region, including your place. So, I don't know.
Work conducted by who?
And this is internal work.
Oh, really? After abandoning the people all these months, you are gaining grounds. Oh, Nana, come here. This is a Hudios poll.
Obviously not from Global Info Analytics.
Obviously not.
NPP is gaining grounds in the Volta region, including constituency. So we will see.
Including Sammy's constituency.
Wow.
So we'll see how it goes.
Wow.
And when you speak to the young man who is challenging Sammy, he's full of confidence.
Your client's son.
Do you believe in his confidence?
So, I mean, the elections are only a couple of months.
Okay,
so we'll see.
okay. I'm never complacent, so no problem. I'll keep working hard.
Last week,
Yes.
we talked about, if I remember, the single source thing and so on.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I had said that if you could show that the NPP had engaged in about 80% single sourcing, then clearly we haven't lived up to expectations. So, this week, one of my media monitoring boys brought to my attention some story across those online stuff. And Kumia says it's embarrassed about me Kufuado on fulfilled promises all over. I'm like, and they were referencing Metro. And I said, but we talked about single source. We didn't talk about promises and so on.
Was it not probably an old, because I'd seen that story before.
We had a discussion about a year ago.
Yes.
And then, So I was wondering why Okujeto and his people will go and bring these stories back. But,
don't want to blame me. I haven't even seen the story.
I said your people, maybe your people. Said Nana Kumia is embarrassed at government.
They created a pressure as if it was something you just said.
Government, especially rent assistance. And I'm like, but the rent assistance thing is even one of the fulfilled promises of government. So I don't know why you included that one in. But anyway.
Then this is a fulfilled promise.
Sorry?
This is a fulfilled promise.
The rent assistance. It's going on. We discussed it here when it was launched. Have you forgotten?
How many people have benefited from it?
Well, what government has to do is to give an account of it.
They have recently, I think.
How many people?
I think they did. It was some.
In Parliament.
Yes.
There was an urgent question filed.
Okay.
They did.
And what was it?
Yeah.
They did. I'll just look it up. Some.
But it just.
I'm not sure that even the young people in this neighborhood will suffice.
But it's there. They can access it. The rental assistance.
How much money has been put there?
Oh, it's a revolving fund.
Yes,
and
but
the way it's been crafted, you pay. So there will always be money to fund it. So, for example, if your camera people, because they are working at Metro,
yes,
and they have guaranteed income,
yes,
they can apply for it. The rent will be paid, and it will be deducted.
You know, it's not even national. It's not national.
But where is it?
When the minister came to Parliament,
they piloted it.
Yeah, they're still piloting.
They're still piloting.
Yeah.
Well, but at least it's been launched.
I'm saying that if the staff of this company all go there, it will collapse.
No, it will not collapse because it's revolving.
No, but revolving still has some.
Depends on the basic.
Yeah, you have to put some money down.
But at least it's been launched.
Oh.
So for some
tokenism,
people,
complete tokenism.
Oh, but you said the pilot.
No, because see, Nana, you held that presser.
Yeah.
Yes, the issue of rent amongst young people, for which reason you even held the presser, showed that look, this was one of the biggest issues affecting young people. If you take the issue of jobs, it's about rent, and that is the reason. Yes, that's the reason why you even had to hold the presser.
Yeah.
To assure them that in your next administration that will be done. Yeah. In your 4th year, because that was not a first term promise, it was a promise made for the second term.
2020.
In your 4th year, when you have 9 months to go, if you look at what has been done, nobody should even raise it as a fulfilled promise.
Well, let me say this. I don't know what has been done, but I know that it was launched. Like I said, government should give accounts of what has been done so far. How many people have applied, how much monies have been voted in, and so on. But at least it was one of the promises that have been launched. So I was surprised when some Okujo's collaborators added it. And then they have all this, all these Nakomias and Baras at Baumia. I don't know what. So when he said he was busy in his constituency, I said maybe he's not involved. I was going to put it on him, but
now you absolve him.
Well, but he has his people.
Okay.
People.
All right. So if you're looking for a toothpaste that will take care of all the family and save money, the recommended family toothpaste is Kel 360 toothpaste and is approved by the Food and Drugs Authority. Kel 360 toothpaste provides you and your family with all-round dental protection throughout the day with freshness. Kel 360 toothpaste is good for kids, children, and adults. Let your family be a proud family when they step out by constantly using Kel 360 toothpaste. Kel 360 toothpaste brightens your teeth, prevents cavity, and with its cool mint, gives you fresh breath throughout the day and protects the gum from decaying. For consistency and quality, use Kel 360 toothpaste. Kel 360 toothpaste is another product from Samara Company Limited, producers of Sasso, available in all supermarkets, malls, and provision shops. You can call Samara Company on 0246 864 798. Kel 360 toothpaste, happy smile. And enjoying the fruits of your labor, they say, is as important as enjoying the mansions of your labor. The pains of climbing the stairs when not exercising could be challenging for all ages, but worry no more. Lift and elevators have got you covered with the best portable American pneumatic vacuum elevators on the market today. It's a simple, self-supported elevator for both homes and offices, and guess what? It can lift your goods too. Wheelchairs can fit in, and they come in 3 custom-made models. It's affordable and can be installed within 3 days. Visit Lift and Elevators at Sakumono, or just call them on 0200535515 or send a mail to elevatorsgh@gmail.com for consultations and the best solutions in easy vertical movement. All right. So, Nana, Edisami.
Did they say
yes,
prevents gum disease?
You mean the toothpaste? it protects the gum from decaying. Yeah.
I don't know.
That's what I read. Right.
I would prefer if you say it can help prevent gum. But when you make statements that appear to be categorical, somebody can take you up in the advertising.
Yeah, so Nana, just for your information, I have the response from the minister. So it's...
This is Works and Housing?
Yes, Works and Housing. So 6 regions. That's Northern...
For the rental assistance?
Yes, Northern, Bono East, Greater Accra, Eastern, Ashanti, and Western regions. They are hoping to expand later in the year. We don't know. And so far, only 1,492 people have benefited.
1,492.
Compare this with the promise you made during the 2020 campaign. Oh, all the youth struggling with rent.
But how many people have applied?
Oh, they didn't give us a figure, but I'm sure.
So then
I'm sure. It's. I mean, we all know the rent challenge in this country.
Yeah, but if 10, you have to.
It will be millions.
Maybe you can pay them.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that
It's almost like what I did for the teachers in my constituency. You know, I gave them a 6-month rent
wait
advance.
3 months to the elections. Then we'll go and look for some money and say we are giving some 50,000 young people rent.
but Randy, we must be careful.
MPP.
Yes.
What are the applications? If there have been 10,000 applications and only 1,500 have been met, then you could say that there's a big disconnect. But we don't know the applications. For all you know, only 2,000 people have applied.
Why
So-
in this country?
So I would have expected that you gentlemen in Parliament would have asked the minister how many people have applied. I mean,
We did.
1,000.
We did. I'm looking for the figure.
Okay. If we get a figure, there's a big gap, then we can see how well. But at least it's ongoing.
Nana, in this country, even application for scholarships, you have thousands of people applying.
Yeah.
And then rent. A problem that is identified as one of the, maybe the number 2 problem
Yes.
of the youth in Ghana. That if indeed there is something which is open to everybody,
To pay your advance rate.
yeah, to pay your rent advance
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah, so I found the figure.
Yes.
The minister told us in Parliament that 10,168 applications.
And they've met only 1,005.
10%, less than 10%.
Yes. So then there's a big gap. And they have to put in more money.
And this is even 10,000.
Yeah.
If we are talking about young people who probably,
Yeah. And because it's not even national.
yes,
you are
if we are
doing it
talking
in
about
only
young
6
people who
regions.
need their rent advance paid,
across
we
the
probably
country.
will be speaking about some 3-4 million.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
they have to apply.
No, I'm just saying.
Some people.
No, I'm
Yeah,
just saying
but
that.
operationalize it in every region. Then
But it's how many regions?
No, it's good,
6
to,
regions.
it's good to pilot. I don't have a
6
problem.
regions.
Yeah, it's a pilot.
But first of all, it takes you 3 years
to
pilot.
Yeah. After the promise.
It takes you 3 years to pilot.
when was it launched? Was it last year or last
It was
year?
launched last year.
Okay.
So it takes you like 3 years to pilot. And then now you have about 9 months to the end of the tenure.
But you know some promises are not done at all.
Yeah, but this one, you see,
way
because you held the presser,
Oh,
it was a clear,
Yeah.
you know, I'm trying to pull out what you actually
Yeah.
said, the details of your presser.
no, the rental assistance.
You know,
No, but I'm saying the details. You gave us a background
Yeah.
to it why it is an issue
Yes.
and why you are promising the young people that if they vote for you,
We will do it.
what you will do is to immediately implement this to alleviate their suffering.
Oh, you mean it wasn't implemented immediately? That's your.
In fact, we are here. We are in injury time.
You know, if it's 10,000, if the minister said 10,000
10,000,
applications and they've met only 1,005, that's just about 10%, 15%, and they should do more. You know, they should find some money and do more.
You know,
Because if
you know,
they've done
you know,
like 6,000,
I don't know
Oh, no,
if
by-
I don't know,
by
I don't know,
June,
I
July,
don't
they will
know.
do.
You know, I don't know if
Why did you-
Oh, but we all know.
Doc,
No,
I don't
no.
know.
Oh, we all know. By June, July, they will do some for maybe some 100,000 or
You know,
300,000 or 500,000.
No, why June, July?
Eh?
Why June,
Oh,
July?
it's very,
Very,
very, very obvious. You know, Doc, but I was going to make the point about the use of Nana Akomia during critical moments in campaign.
He was director of comms. What was your designation?
That wasn't.
No, at the time he wasn't.
Yeah.
You know,
But you had a certain designation.
I was director of comms for 2016.
The 2016 campaign.
But as at 2020,
No.
it was just you as Nana Kumia.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Then, Doc, as you were, reminding him about major promises that he was asked to put out, because he has a way of communicating and the way he will speak with conviction.
We're putting Nana on the spot. It's not fair.
That's his habit.
You recall, Doc, you recall a similar one that they will build 350 senior high schools.
But Nana has addressed that too.
Really?
He has addressed that. He has addressed that
What's the problem with that?
some years back.
Where are the schools?
On this program, the issue came up. And he
Yeah.
says that we should ask those responsible.
Oh, just
No,
that.
but listen, Randy.
Yeah.
But he was the first to announce it.
No.
But he didn't say he will build.
No, but beyond that,
He is part of the government.
2 seconds. Beyond that, the NDC have tried to say that I'm the one who announced it.
Yeah.
How can a director of communications announce his own policy?
We didn't say it's your own policy. You announced on behalf of
Nana Akufo-Addo
the
first
team.
announced it
Akufo-Addo
somewhere up
Bawumia.
north.
Yeah.
Where?
Then Dr. Bawumia also announced it
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah. Then he put
Then
credibility
there
to
was
it.
a presser that he
No.
addressed.
Yes, a major
I
presser.
didn't put credibility. Do you know when it was first announced? It was part of the free SHS agenda. Now, the NPP in 2012, August, launched its manifesto for the 2020 election.
2012.
For the 2012 elections. The manifesto was launched at the press center. You remember?
GJ.
GJ. It was a huge event. And all the spokespersons of various sectors came to announce what was going to happen for the various sectors.
Right.
Jan Bafo, who was a spokesperson for education.
I like the way Dr. Bawumia mentions his name.
Oh, as part of that solid team.
I don't know why you want to get me distracted.
Professor Jambafo.
What a solid team. Have you checked the exchange rate lately?
I'm sorry, pardon me.
And I remember it was 30th of August. Okay. And at the GJA, when the manifesto was launched in all the various sectors, Jambafo was the spokesperson on education. And in putting out the details of the free SHS program, he's announced that government was also planned to build 350 schools to make up for the anticipated increase in enrollment when the secondary education became free. So that was the first announcement, 350. And it's actually in the manifesto. 2 weeks later, or 3 weeks later, President Mahama, campaigning in the Volta region, also announced that if they want power, they're also going to do 200. So the NPP won, the 350, was announced 3 weeks before the NDC 200. So I'm not the person who put it. The NDC has tried to portray it as my personal policy that I say we'll build 350. So once in a while, when they have nothing to do, and they put that, we'll build 350 free cigarettes. And I just look at them and I laugh.
So you are not worried about your credibility?
What
that
credibility?
increasingly you are made to announce these promises and
It doesn't happen.
and there's no commitment to deliver them. No.
If there's no commitment to deliver,
The next time you are put out there, will Ghanaians listen to you? That's why you know you're my good friend. I'm really worried.
But
I don't want you calling a press conference again and
But
everybody
you know-
said Nana Komia again, please. Forget about his promises.
Ghanaians listen to me a lot,
Yeah, that's why I'm worried. That,
including yourself.
that's why I'm worried that your image and your credibility is at stake.
The things that you announced on behalf of your government. When do you want me to go through some of them?
Oh, Nana
Randy, do we have
Komia.
time?
Nana, you should care about your credibility.
Okay, Randy says we don't have time. Otherwise, I was going to mention just two.
Let's try and move on to something. You know, let's take a break. When we return, there's something that we've spoken about many times on this show, and it has to do with holidays and how disruptive some of these holidays are and have been, and what happens elsewhere, and why we cannot do them. And Wednesday, out of frustration, I said, "Bang the damn holiday," instead of saying "bang the holiday." So we'll be back shortly. To the show. If you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. Still with me on the show, I have Nana Akomia and Samuel Kujeto Ablakwa. But what does wealth mean to you? Do you want to live like a tycoon? Remember, I was God and Mullah got the power. Ghana's newest lottery game draws live on our Dome TV at 9 a.m., 12 noon, and 6 p.m. daily. Now pick up your phones, tablets, and computers and download the Game Park Games app on Play Store. You can also play on the website at www.gameparkgames.com or by dialing *946#. On all networks, just choose 4 numbers from 0 to 9. It's easy to play and easy to win. Charlie Meg will play this game and make some moolah. Nobody beats out in Ghana. Game Park Games, more moolah, more power. This game is regulated by a National Lottery Authority and is not for persons under 18. Play responsibly. Ayesoko. Dakosombo Dan be big, but Bedway's cash out be bigger. Betway is giving you more control over every thrilling bet you place. Enjoy the biggest and most reliable cash out in Ghana on Betway without any hassle. Sign up today at betway.com.gh. Terms and conditions apply. It's not for persons under 18. This is regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Betway, get way more. And Blue Jeans Energy Drink has been on the Ghanaian market for over 20 years. We already know what it does for the body. It contains vitamins and nutrients like vitamin B2, B3, B6, B12, as well as taurine and guarana, which are known to boost your strength and energy as well as promote high performance and endurance. Blue Jeans Energy Drink has been tested and tried. It's indeed the best. Blue Jeans Energy Drink is for bold and active men and women. So go and grab a cold can and power your day. It's in shops nationwide. Budget Cash and Carry Limited. For bulk purchases, contact Budget Cash and Carry Limited on 0208 128 190 055001 Okay, so let's watch this. According to the Ministry of Interior, these are the holidays for the year. So you can see that on your screen now. So these are statutory public holidays and commemorative days in the Republic of Ghana for the year 2024. So it started off with New Year's Day, that's 1st of January, which was a Monday. So for this year, a Monday, it's fine. But guess what? Next year, 2025, is going to be a Tuesday. Then Constitution Day is 7th January. It fell on a Sunday. So yes, the holiday could be a Monday. It was a Monday, so that's fine. Okay. Then Independence Day, 6th of March, was a Wednesday. So Wednesday is a holiday, and then Thursday we go back to work. Then Good Friday, the Easter ones are sorted out. There's a Friday and a Monday. So you have that long weekend. So Thursday is the last working day of the preceding week. And then Tuesday is the first working day. So it is not disruptive. Easter, by how it is structured, is not. Then we have May Day. Fell on a Wednesday. So you go to work Monday, Tuesday. Wednesday is a holiday. And then Thursday you go back to work. Then Eid al-Fitr, now we know. Eid al-Fitr was on a Thursday. We are here today. Working. Everybody's gone back to work after a holiday on a Thursday. Now, Eid al-Adha, we do not know when that will happen. Then you have Founders Day, 4th of August. This year, it will fall on a Sunday, so the Monday will be a holiday. That's not disruptive. But guess what? Next year, it will then fall on a Monday. That will also should be fine. The following year will fall on a Tuesday. Then Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Day, 21st September. It will fall on a Saturday. It will be pushed to a Monday. That should be fine. But in subsequent years, in subsequent years, when it falls on a Tuesday or a Wednesday or a Thursday, what happens? Then Farmers' Day is also sorted itself out. It's always the first Friday of December. I even see that in election years, sometimes it's moved to first Friday in November. But at least it's always a first Friday. And so it's done. Then you have, of course, the global Christmas Day, and then there's the Boxing Day as well. But if you look at this one, so there's Wednesday, Thursday, and so Friday then becomes a working day. The only thing is that for most schools will be on vacation. For most establishments, that's when you have the Christmas break, really. So sometimes it takes care of that. And then we have our commemorative days. These are not holidays. So Africa Union Day, and then 1st of July, Republic Day. Now, elsewhere, gentlemen, and that's what I start off with you. Elsewhere, when the holiday falls on a Tuesday, a Wednesday, or a Thursday, it's pushed to Friday or Monday, so that the week is not disruptive. So you have it flowing. But then the activities are still held, so it's commemorated. But here, we will take that particular day. So, I mean, on that particular day will be the holiday, and then the next day you come to work. Elsewhere, it is banked. And so you have a long weekend, and then the working week is not there. Why can't we do same?
Well,
or why didn't we do same?
I would wish that we do same, and it is one of the low-hanging fruits. It doesn't need much money. The benefits totally outweigh the disadvantages. I would wish that President Akufo-Addo goes down as the president who would achieve this banking. Banking just means bringing it all on the
putting in the bank.
Yes. And it's done elsewhere, and they call it bank holidays. And I wish that President Akufo-Addo would take advantage so that he'll go down as the president who brought this into our holiday calendar. Because the way that the holidays are structured at the moment really leaves a lot to be desired. And all we need to do, with like the Muslim thing, the Eid al-Fitr and so on, it's a matter of having discussions with the chief imam and the Muslim clergy and coming to an understanding. So that if it doesn't fall on a Friday, it is moved to Friday or Monday, whichever is closer.
That's the holiday.
Yes, that's the holiday.
But all the activities could be done on that day.
That's the commemoration.
Yes. So the prayer,
so
the Independence Square and all those
currently,
things.
this holiday fell on Thursday.
Yes.
So it could be commemorated. All the prayers and the festivals, the horse riding, everything could be done. And then the holiday given on a Friday. So that it is announced by the government together with the office of the chief imam that the holiday has been shifted to Friday. The advantage is that it doesn't disrupt the working week. There are a lot of people who would not go to work today because of this. They will find an excuse to stay off work so that they're going to have a 4-day weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But more importantly, whatever the activity is, you actually have a whole weekend to mark the activity. So that if it is Founders Day, it then becomes a Founders Day weekend. Yeah. If it's Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Day, it then becomes a Kwame Nkrumah Memorial weekend, because the activities and the engagement in that would go to 3 days. Yeah. Constitution Day, Constitution weekend. So discussions on the Constitution and its impact and what has to be done to change it will span 3 days. So it's even a more extensive engagement. So the advantages are much, much, much bigger than, look at yesterday, the whole media thing was focused on the relevance of the Eid, the fasting, the Prophet Muhammad's life. Those of us who had Muslim friends, we spent half the day with them. The discussions was on and it's ended. But if it was a weekend, the discussions would be going on for 3 days. So it's difficult to imagine why we haven't banked the holidays to come to a weekend. And I'm hoping that President Akufo-Addo will take advantage and put his name to it. So otherwise, there has to be a private...
There's also this view which seeks to amend this position a bit. And this is from Ambassador Silvanos Tete Tamaklo. He says that we could make an exception of religious holidays.
No, but if you have a discussion, it's an advantage to the religious observation. Because like I said, the observation will run across 3 days instead of 1 day. So unless there is some major international significance that dictates that it should be held on a specific day, it's even better that it's held over a weekend so that the observance and the discussion and the engagement and all the activities run over 3 days. It's a matter of having the discussion with them and coming to
so that there's no misrepresentation. You're not suggesting, and I have also not suggested, that the commemoration should not be done on the day it should be done. But the holiday is what must be banked. That's the point, right? Sam.
Doc, I'm on all fours with you and Nana on this matter. We really have to deal with this matter once and for all. See what's happening this week. A disruption yesterday, very significant day, very important. I was talking about how I spent the day with my Muslim brothers and sisters in Joapon, in my beloved North Tongue. We commemorated the day beautifully after we, had meals. We even had fun games. Distributed our bicycles. Interacted with students and young people. It was fun. But then you have to remember that you must cut short. And I had to be traveling deep into the night so I can make it for this morning's program and then other official activities today, a working day. Then we will break for the weekend. So all of this, topsy-turvy, this roller coaster does not help. But there's also a more fundamental issue I have, which has to do with the number of holidays in Ghana. When you scroll down, I counted 13 holidays from that official statement from the Ministry of the Interior. That is on the high side. 13 public holidays. I've been checking with a few countries. In the UK, they have 8 in a year. The US has 11. They don't have more than 11 public holidays. The Switzerland has just about 9 public holidays in their various cantons. And talking about Switzerland, you see,
let me ask you
this.
Let me just ask you a question.
Sure.
Now, in those countries, the holidays that you count, do they include Easter and Christmas?
Yes. Okay. Yes, it's all included. All the religious holidays are included. And you see,
1 second.
You see,
does it
this
include the Muslim holidays?
No, it's
for those 2 countries. No.
For it's
so
the,
-1.
So it is the Christian, festivities. So you need to pay attention to the impact of these holidays on productivity. Talking about Switzerland, listening to the BBC this morning, very fascinating story. So the Swiss city Geneva has just made a profit of over $1.5 billion. And the big discussion in Geneva is how they can share those profits with the people. So they are discussing how those under 25, for example, can get free bus tickets, free train tickets. And they are saying that they have been so productive, so efficient, that from 2025, they are going to reduce their taxes. That they think that the efficiency levels are now so high that they can do without a good number of taxes. Incredible. Here you have the AMA, KMA, who are still depending on central government. I've never understood that. KMA, TMA, AMA should be able to run. Look at the industries within the Tema enclave, within Accra, the Accra Metropolitan Enclave, Kumasi. Should they be depending on a share of the District Assembly Common Fund? So we do not take productivity serious in this country. We do not take efficiency serious in this country. And the taxes that are collected, if you follow the money, the lack of prioritization, the leakages, the wastage, you know, it's just nauseating. So this is an important discussion, and it has a larger impact on the economy, on how we can improve our livelihoods, transform our country. And I think that it's a discussion that we must really have. I recall that before Parliament went on recess, the Honorable Francis Xavier Sosu filed a private member's bill to this effect, except that I disagree with him in part. He wanted to add a few more holidays, I think 2 more holidays for our brothers and sisters of the Islamic faith.
1 more for the Islamic faith?
Yeah, I think 2 more, if I recall. 2 more.
No, 1 more to make it 2.
No, he wanted 2 more.
To make it 3?
Yes, I think 2 more added, I think I recall vividly. Except that he agrees with us on banking, on, you know, checking the disruptions, so that you either move it to a Friday, you know, or a Monday, so that you can have the week free for economic activity. On that part of his private members bill, he has my full support, and I hope that it sees the light of day. These days that the president is not cooperating with Parliament and assenting to these bills, it's very demotivating and demoralizing of private members' effort in the House. Because, as Nana has said, this is a low-hanging fruit that we can all, you know, converge and work on. I don't see how this should be, if you like, divisive or contentious. It shouldn't be, you know. So let's look at the number of holidays. I think that it ought to be reduced. Let's bank the holidays, and then let's address productivity. Let's take productivity more seriously. Efficiency in running our resources. The impact will be beneficial to all of us, and really that should be the way forward.
You know, President Mahama has promised 1 more holiday. So that would increase, that's probably increase. But you see, my slight take on your take, I don't know if holidays really affect productivity that much. I don't believe that we are in the state we are over the period because of holidays. Because you see, holidays too can have, depending on the way you program it, can have economic benefits. And this banking of the holidays that we're talking about, the 3-day celebration would no doubt generate a lot of economic activity if it's structured well. So it depends on the way that you, the things that are going to move us forward, we all know those things. You have to aggressively do import substitution, use government revenue to buy, cut the grid, cut the corruption, yeah. You know, we know those things that are really going to make us great, you know. So the holidays rather can be fine-tuned in a way that they rather can generate economic activity. And when people know there's a 3-day, I mean, for example, this is the Muslim thing. There's a lot of economic activity in the Muslim communities on that day.
Even all other communities.
Yes.
Because you see, every community in Ghana has a Muslim community.
Yeah.
So imagine when those activities are spread over 3 days. It will generate its own. There's all for it. That let's bank this holiday.
Look at all the activities around Christmas, the stretch.
Yeah.
Or
Is
Easter.
that actually it's the Christmas period?
Yeah, there's a whole industry.
The last 10 days of December, if not the entire December, is the biggest commercial period in this country.
Up until the second.
Yeah, it's a huge commercial period, generating its own economic benefits.
All right. Okay. So still moving on. I'd like to take this opportunity to personally comment on the raging issue of LGBTQI+ in Ghana. First of all, it's important to note that our cultural and social norms and values as Ghanaians frown on the practice of homosexuality. Furthermore, as a Muslim, my view on this matter aligns with the position of my religious faith. My faith is therefore very strictly against the practice of homosexuality, no ifs or buts, no shades of grey. I personally therefore cannot support that which my religion, indeed all the major religions in Ghana, clearly and unequivocally forbid. All the major religious traditions in Ghana are opposed to this practice, and I stand opposed to now, and I'll stand opposed to it as president. Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, and the new finder says that his remarks were prompted by mounting calls from various quarters, particularly within certain Muslim communities in the country, urging him to articulate his stance on the issue of LGBTQI+ rights. Okay, so he's articulated his stand. But if I recall, just last week or 2 weeks ago, the Muslim, there's a name they call it's like an amalgamation of all the Muslim sects. They issued a statement asking the president to assent to the bill. And so there's one thing stating your position, and the other thing is that your government, through your president, should assent to it. I mean, give meaning to whatever they said aspirations or positions of the religious sect are, because it must count for something. And how you do that is really to express it. And I'm sure you've seen the letter from the Clerk of Parliament to the Executive Secretary to the President. Have you seen it? Oh, there's
the latest one?
Oh, yes.
What does it say?
It's a response to the cease and desist. So, I'm sure that the producer will be able to. It's to the Secretary to the President, Office of the President, Jubilee House, Accra, attention and Abede to Asante. And it's dated the 10th of April. So that must be yesterday. No, Wednesday, sorry. Now it says that transmission of the Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill 2024. I'm writing to acknowledge receipt of your letter number is here dated 18th of March 2024 on the above subject matter and received in my office on 19th of March 2024. I have taken note of the contents of the letter, particularly the text in the last paragraph which states, quote, in the circumstances you are kindly requested to cease and desist from transmitting the bill to the President until matters before the Supreme Court are resolved. Accordingly, I await an indication in writing from your office on when to present the Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill 2024 to His Excellency the President for his consideration, pursuant to Article 1067 of the Constitution 1992. Yours faithfully, Cyril K.O. Insia, Clerk to Parliament. And those in copy are His Excellency the Vice President, Right Honourable Speaker of Parliament, Honourable Majority Leader, Honourable Minority Leader, Honourable Attorney General, and the Honourable Chief of Staff.
What does the last paragraph say again, please?
Accordingly, I await an indication in writing from your office on when to present the Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill 2024 to His Excellency the President for his consideration, pursuant to Article 1067 of the Constitution 1992.
But you know that.
So he starts by referring to the cease and desist.
And they are going to comply.
And says that on the basis of that,
we are complying.
I'm waiting for you to inform me when we should bring it.
But that's why I don't know if what the import of the response from the Clerk of Parliament is. From my understanding of what you've read, it means they are complying with the cease and desist. But you know, the major concern that was raised about the letter from the secretary to the president was that the letter gave the impression that the executive was stopping Parliament
Yes.
from doing its duty.
Yes.
And that has raised all kinds of difficulties, which is a legitimate concern, because Parliament is an independent constitutional body. The executive is an independent constitutional body, same as the judiciary. Each body is supposed to fulfill their constitutional responsibilities according to their mandate. Parliament's mandate, as far as lawmaking is concerned, is that they would pass the bill and submit it to the executive. Then their constitutional mandate finishes. The executive's mandate is to sign the bill that has been presented to Parliament, so it becomes law. But the executive too may sign or may not sign the bill based on certain considerations. So Parliament, once the bill is passed, should inform the executive, submit their bill that this is what has been passed. They've done their duty. The executive will be within its rights to say, thank you, submitted the bill. We are not going to sign now because of A, B, C, D, which the executive also has some legal room to do. Yes. But in asking Parliament not to bring the bill, it could be seen as stopping the work of Parliament. And for the clerk to write that, well, then we are going to wait for you to tell us when we should bring the bill. It means that the impression I get is that they are acquiescing to the cease and desist.
You don't sense some sarcasm?
When it comes to constitutional matters, please look at the Constitution, not sarcasm.
No, I'm just saying that because we've come to you 3 times. You say you won't take it, and you have written to us that we shouldn't do it again. Will we continue coming there?
You know, when they want to serve you court processes and you won't take it, they will still have a way of serving you. You know that.
Well, unfortunately, I'm told that with this transmission, there's a lay-down procedure, which is accepted. That you take it in a particular way,
yes,
it's received in a particular way, it's acknowledged in a particular way. Now the executive is bent on not letting that process happen, and it has communicated that on 3 occasions you have tried to.
Yes,
and Parliament itself confirmed that that thing happened on 3 occasions.
I'm saying that there's concern that the executive is ascribing Parliament's fulfillment of his office. I mean, in this matter, the simple thing is Parliament submits the bill to the executive. The executive will say, we would. Samuel Kujato was telling us that there are a couple of bills submitted that the president hasn't signed.
Yeah.
I didn't know because there was no drama. You understand?
I think there was a little one, but it didn't get to this point.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. There was no drama. Yeah. Your mandate is to do your bill, pass it, submit it. The other person whose mandate is also there. So the simple thing.
Issues communicated.
Yes. I mean, Samuel was telling about 3 or 4 bills that have been submitted that have not been signed because there was no drama. And the president has communicated why he will not be able to sign immediately to Parliament. Yes. That's the nice constitutional aid.
Even included one that he had assented already.
Yeah.
So there is no need for the drama.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
True.
Yeah. So I would have wished that the clerk said that, listen, we've received your letter, but our constitutional mandate will finish when we deliver it. And so we will ask that you accept it. You also have your constitutional mandate to delay it or whatever. And then, but the larger issue of the LGBTQI plus. I'm reading it from there. LGBT is written in red. Yeah. Which paper is that?
The New Finder.
Okay. I don't think there's any ambiguity about the attitude of the political parties, actually the major political parties. The president himself had said that it would not be under his watch that LGBTQ will be legitimized in this country. The president has stated it very clearly. in the vote in Parliament, the NPP as a party voted for the passage of this bill, isn't it? Yeah. So there's no ambiguity about the attitude of the major political parties. The president, the vice president, the NDC, everybody has come out very clear to state their position as far as legitimizing LGBTQ activities in Ghana, as against what is happening in many of the Western countries. The issue with this particular bill is that there have been issues about human rights that have been raised by many in civil society, that the bill in the current form as passed by Parliament would have human rights implications. And so they want the Supreme Court.
So then I just a minute. I was trying to do some checks. I've been trying to do some checks on this letter when I saw it from yesterday. And I've not received a response until this morning when I raised it. I've not also seen any response from Parliament. But now, one of my sources that I tried to authenticate the letter from.
Which letter? The one from the clerk?
Yes, it's telling me that it appears that the clerk has not written any such letter, and that it could be a fake document. That's what one of my sources is telling me. I tried to authenticate it from yesterday, but I had not gotten the response.
But
so looking at the period, I assumed that if it were fake, the Parliament would have
reacted to
it.
And you said it was issued this morning.
Not, it wasn't issued this morning.
Yesterday.
It was issued on Wednesday.
Wednesday?
Yes.
So 2 days.
Wednesday
ago.
the 10th.
Maybe it hasn't been brought to the clerk's attention.
Yeah. So I'm now being told that by one of the sources I tried to authenticate it from. That.
But just a quick comment on that. This business about fake news. And the use of artificial intelligence to generate fake news. It is something that we have to tackle as a nation. Fortunately for us, it's not a local situation, it's an international problem. But it's getting to the stage where, if you're not careful, we can get into some major difficulties as a result of fake publications on social media, because of the nature of the medium of social media and how the access is open and people can, especially now with artificial intelligence, what they call AI. We need to really. I know the police, they have a way of tracking sources of AIs, and that unit has to be really strengthened. And we need
global threat.
We need to strengthen the Ghana police. Their the division that handles, or the department that handles cybercrime and so on, and because it can easily become an issue. I mean, so anyway, that's by the way. So I'm saying that on the LGBTQ, the political parties, the leaders of the political parties have all stated their position. Indeed, the vote in Parliament itself was on bipartisan basis. So, but on the bill itself, there have been issues raised about some infringement on human rights, and the matters are in court. So, and I think that's a major constraint that the president, that is not allowing the president to sign it, that these human rights issues.
The president referred to the injunction.
Yeah.
Yes, he referred to the injunction.
Yeah.
And there was an injunction that the principle is that we all still have our hands until determination. And I'm sure that's why the speaker's lawyers have also applied to the court to also abridge the time and expedite the hearing on this.
Yes.
Same as they did for the attorney general.
No, it's absolutely in order. It's absolutely in order that the Supreme Court rules on this matter quickly, because it's a big national issue.
Because at the end of the day, even if the president assents, and then the Supreme Court upholds the view by anybody that Section A, Section B, Section C of the law are unconstitutional or against human rights or whatever, the Supreme Court will order that those parts are struck off.
Yeah. So, but for the abundance of caution, you can say that, well, this particular issue is in court. So I just want to, it's not an emergency situation. Yeah, it's a big national issue, but it's not an emergency situation. So, and if the president says on the abundance of caution, I'd like to wait for the courts to decide on it. Then the courts must expedite action, and I don't know. But otherwise, on the treatment of LGBTQA, all the major political parties, all the major leaders, all agreed that they will not tolerate it.
Fine.
Yeah. I've also been doing my checks on the letter, and it appears to be authentic
Really?
from what multiple leaders are telling me from Parliament, that the clerk copied them. So the Honourable Minority Leader, who is in copy,
Yes.
CC, confirms to me that he received it, that it is authentic, so far as he's concerned.
Okay.
The Chief Whip is also communicating with me now, Honourable Kwame Abuja, that he also received a copy, and that, so far as they are concerned, it's authentic.
Okay.
So I don't know your source, but that's some confusion there.
Then my worry still holds.
Yeah, no, it's a legitimate concern about this whole, and because of that, these days when you even see statements, you're not sure.
Yes. And one second, you see, you're talking about sarcasm and so on, but the larger issue is that it could be a precedent.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
you have to be careful.
Yes.
Yeah, and I have to be honest with you, Doc. When I saw this letter last night, I was really disappointed. I don't know what the strategy is, and I've been asking.
Did you call the clerk?
No, I haven't been able to reach him. I tried. I haven't been able to reach him. I even sent a message to the deputy clerk, Mr. Jetro, on what this is about. Because as a member of Parliament, I feel really offended by this, particularly the third paragraph. I mean, are you subjecting our constitutional mandate to the whim and caprice of the president or the secretary to the president? What happened to our constitutional independence? These are constitutional matters. I mean, to say that accordingly, I await an indication in writing from your office on when to present the Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill 2024 to His Excellency the President for his consideration, pursuant to Article 1067 of the Constitution 1992. So now, Nana Asante Bediatu is going to be dictating to Parliament when we should communicate with the executive, when we should move forward with our constitutional mandate. I mean, what's the meaning of this? So the clerk, when the House resumes, the clerk better have some explanation for this, because we will take him on.
Well, the clerk, especially with all the
yes.
attention that this matters.
Yeah, and even the speaker's statement, the speaker's closing remarks on this matter.
Write a letter, will respond to this letter without recourse to the speaker.
That's why I'm still carrying on my checks, and I intend to go to the.
I doubt if the clerk
go to the House.
I doubt if the clerk will do that.
Because I really don't know what the strategy is, but on the face of it, this undermines the constitutional mandate of Parliament. It is offensive. It makes Parliament subservient to the executive, and it's as though, it is now Nana Asante Bediatu who will run Parliament and who will tell us how to go about our constitutional duties. It's such an affront, and the clerk better have some explanations for us when we raise this matter in Parliament. Now, on Dr. Bawumia's belated position on this matter, it has taken years. There has been a lot of hue and cry out there, an avalanche of appeals. You heard Islamic clerics say that, look, they want to know the position of the vice president on this matter, because virtually everybody who matters in the political sphere has been unequivocal about this matter. Former President Mahama has been so consistent and has repeated his position on this matter. He almost began to sound like a broken record on this matter. He's been very, very consistent, right from when he served as president all the way throughout his days in opposition. Everybody has been shocked at the silence of the vice president. And finally, after the incessant demands that he speaks out, he has reluctantly spoken.
Yes, what?
That is a welcome development.
Did you hear him?
Yes,
He has reluctantly
clearly. This he has all the ingredients of reluctance. All the ingredients of reluctance.
So what are the ingredients?
When you have to wait, I mean, where is conviction? Where is courage? You know, you have to be timeous about these matters. I mean, this debate has been raging for years, even when the private.
So you mean he's late?
Very late.
And so because he's late, it means he's reluctant.
Clearly, I mean, how many times did the Islamic clerics, the religious leaders, the Christian clerics have to appeal to it? It shouldn't have taken all of that appeal, all of that protest, that demand.
Protest against who?
That he speaks before he speaks now. So that's why, you know, many people, if you follow the reaction, many people are taking it with a pinch of salt. But I am trying to be nice and kind to the vice president this morning and saying that even though it's a reluctant statement, it is belated, I will proceed on the path of being better late than never. And that's what I'm doing this morning. But you see, we also need to emphasize that the political class have responsibilities. You cannot just speak and walk away. The Ghanaian people are not only interested in what we say, they are also interested in our actions. So, for example, those of us in Parliament, and I'm glad Nana Komia reiterated that, we as MPs have done our part. This has been a private member's effort. And I always remind Ghanaians that, look, perhaps sleeping dogs will have been allowed to lie if it wasn't that former Australian High Commissioner who was so provocative, who went about commissioning advocacy offices and all of that, and was in our faces, you know, and that warranted a pushback. And we said, look, enough is enough. And don't forget that within the educational space as well, you had all kinds of offensive educational materials very subtly finding their way into our schools in the name of comprehensive sexuality education. So it is these threats that necessitated the private members, led by the very diligent and formidable Sam George, who's done a yeoman's job on this matter, together with his colleagues, the Honorable Bejwa, the Honorable Delasowa, the Honorable Roxin, Reverend Johnny Tim Fojo, who became the sole MPP MP on that campaign after all his colleagues abandoned ship. It's not clear why they left him alone on that campaign. But
one second. You mess up your own issue. So there are how many NDC MPs? No, supporting this, promoting maybe 8.
So yeah, about 8. I think we're about 7.
7.
Yeah.
And there are how many NPP? 2? One. So the NDC, there are over 100 who have not come out as promoters. including yourself.
For private members, yeah, you
Including
don't need.
yourself.
You all don't have to
So
sign.
why would you say that the NPP, they've
No,
abandoned?
we are talking about those who
If you
started.
They've
listen to
abandoned.
the promoters from the beginning,
Yeah.
they indicated that there were other MPP MPs who were with them.
Who were with them?
Yeah.
Then when
Yes.
it came to putting names and appending signatures
Mm-hmm.
on the bill, a lot of them, it was
Exactly.
only Reverend Tim Fojo
Yeah, who stayed?
who
Yeah.
stayed. And
So
then put
there
their
are
signature.
8 NDC MPs.
So,
Out
so can I proceed? I think Doc has clarified this matter. Can I proceed?
137. Only 8 put up their names. Those who didn't put that, you are included.
You are an experienced legislator.
So
You
why
know
are
how
you coming
private
to
members.
say
You know how
that
private members bill works.
Somebody has been
It's not for
abandoned? I
everybody
mean, it is
to
not
sign.
all the 137.
Please,
who
can I
put their
can I
names.
But they,
proceed?
Same
only
as
say,
you.
they only say abandoned because they say when they started the process.
Now, do you know the
Can I
NDC
proceed?
MPs
Can I proceed?
who also support but didn't put their name?
But they didn't mention any.
Doc,
Lies propaganda too much.
that interruption clearly was needed.
It's just to stop the propaganda.
So the point remains that we in the political class have responsibilities. The people we represent are looking up to us. Now, Parliament has done its job. All of us. Indeed, when the Speaker asked if there is any MP who will rise to oppose this or to stop this from being approved by the House, not a soul got up. Nobody got up. So we have done our part. Now, we continue to do our part. If you Google, for example, my position on this matter, even when it appeared that diplomats were getting in the way.
They put a fixed stamp on it now.
The letter from Parliament.
who
But
put
somebody
that?
says it's authentic.
Who put that?
I'm sure in the next 2 hours.
Well, we'll get to
right
know.
it,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. So we'll get to know because the leaders of the House insist that it's authentic, but we'll get to the bottom of it. So the point I'm making is that beyond the approval, I have been clear that, look, the pressure from diplomats will have to stop. They are beginning to meddle in our domestic affairs. We are a sovereign nation. They should back off. As ranking member of the Foreign Affairs Committee, it's not only been about words, but when we've had the opportunity, and those who have sat in meetings with us, with diplomats, would know that our position has been very, very clear, unambiguous. It has been absolutely in alignment with the hopes, the wishes, the aspirations, the culture, the norms, the religious practices of our people. Now you come to the Vice President. He is not in opposition. He must be telling us, beyond the belated statement on his position, what is he doing as number 2 to advise the president, particularly in the conduct of the president, which many Ghanaians have not accepted. Right from the letter that the secretary wrote to us and the president's vacillation on this matter. So he meets the clergy. It's a different posture, not under his watch, he will say. When Vice President Kamala Harris visits Ghana, then he pushes, he says, oh, you know, it's Parliament looking at it. You'll get to know my position later. So the vacillation, the oscillation has not been decent. It's not been a proud conduct of the president, and many have complained about it. Now here we are, the president is refusing to even accept a bill from Parliament as duly approved by the House and transmitted to him under the signature of the Right Honorable Speaker. What is Bawumia's position on that? Now, Vice President Bawumia is also the head of the economic management team. Was he in the loop? Did he know about the memo that the Ministry of Finance wrote to the president That memo, which leaked and became a matter of public discussion, advising the president not to assent to the bill if he receives it, that Ghana will lose money. I was so livid that our values, our norms, will be reduced to monetary, pecuniary interest. Incredible. As head of the economic management team, did he know about that position by the finance ministry? Why did he allow that? Especially as this was under the signature of the new finance minister, who many analysts say is really his protégé, the Honorable Amin Anta. So, Ghanaians are not interested in mere rhetoric, just huffing and puffing. We want to assess your conduct. It's not enough. I mean, the vice president is not some opposition figure. He is the vice president to the president, his closest advisor. He is the head of the economic management team. And this economic management team is taking positions to the effect that we are going to lose money. They said, what, $3.8 billion? And that they will not advise the president to assent to it. Why did the vice president allow that? So, you see, let's be consistent. Our conduct in the public, when we are before the imams after they have protested, agitated, and forced you to comment, you are at their Eid festivities, you want to please them. But beyond that, beyond statements, your conduct. So, to be very honest with you, many of us are not just going to say that, okay, let's all be honky-dory, the vice president has finally spoken, because we have a gridlock. We are not making progress. This has even led to a showdown between the executive and the legislature. As we speak, for the first time in our history, ministers who have been nominated, vetted by the House, their report is in abeyance for how many months now? Can you believe that as a country, in these critical times, you have key ministries like the Ministry of Health without a substantive minister? The Ministry for Gender Social Protection without a substantive minister. Our capital, Greater Accra, is without a substantive minister. The president doesn't mind running a wobbly, incomplete government because he is on a showdown with Parliament. He won't sign LGBTQ. He doesn't even want to see the bill. And we have this stalemate. He doesn't even have a complete government. And government business is not proceeding in earnest as it should be. Government services have been disrupted, are not working at full steam because of this needless gridlock. So, you see, the rhetoric is not matching the action. What they say when they meet the clergymen, the Islamic clerics, and their conduct in their offices, the memos they are writing from the economic management team, it doesn't match. It's not aligned. And like many, many Ghanaians, I'm deeply worried about this. How long will this continue?
Randy, I have not heard any agitation for Dr. Bawumia to declare his
What?
stand.
Are you in Ghana?
So to say that he has been reluctant. I heard one Muslim organization asking for his stand on this matter. And he took the opportunity of the festival yesterday to make his comments. But otherwise, the stand of the NPP party and the presidency are known. If the NPP party was against this, their members of parliament would not have voted for it. So
why are you not signing? Why the gridlock?
One second. Now, so to say Bawumia was reluctant is totally unfounded. There was a call on him He took advantage of yesterday's event, which is a big Muslim event, and made his comments. But otherwise, it's not an issue. Not an issue at all. The NPP is for it. Our members of parliament all voted for it. The president himself had said it would not be under his watch that this business will be legitimized in this country. The president hasn't said that it's because of some letter from Ministry of Finance. That's why he hasn't signed. The president says there are constitutional issues that have been raised, and those issues are before the courts. And so he would like to, for the abundance of caution, wait a little. He hasn't said there's some letter from Ministry of Finance, that's why he's not signing. So this big effort by Samuel Kujeto to say that there's some letter and Bawumia knows about it and the president is not.
No, you should be telling us. Did he authorize that letter? He's the head of the economic management team.
The letter did not come from the economic management team. It came from the Ministry of Finance. Now, the reason that the president has given is known to all of us. And indeed, the issue is before the courts, isn't it?
So then how do you explain to people who said that when the E-levy was passed by the minority, members of the minority went to court?
Yes.
Sami, I don't know
yes, yes, that's one of the plaintiffs, yeah.
Yet the president accepted the bill from Parliament and assented.
And assented.
Well, you know,
with pomp and pageantry.
1 second. If you want to hint at some inconsistency, you may be within your rights. But the E-levy and the issue that went to court were not constitutional issues, were they?
Yes.
Were they
they're constitutional issues.
What
that they lack a quorum. Because in the Abdullahi case, you said we could not reject the budget because we are 137. Those who approved this E-levy were 136, an inferior number. A major constitutional matter on quorum.
Well,
that is why we went to court.
Well, these are constitutional issues about human rights. And the presidents deemed them big enough to be cautious. But if you want to raise the issue and hint that there could be some inconsistency, I don't have a problem. That's your viewpoint.
People's conduct should align with their rhetoric. That's all I'm saying.
The bottom line is that the president's conduct is in line with his rhetoric.
Really?
Absolutely. He hasn't said he's against LGBT. He's in favor of LGBT. Has he said so?
Actions speak louder than words.
Has he said so?
You've heard the saying. Actions speak louder than words.
The political party NPP is against LGBT, and that is evidenced by the vote
let's see it in action.
Parliament.
Let's see it in action.
If a president,
let's see it in action.
Independent watcher, if there's an independent watcher, and this
like you,
this is a president who, irrespective of a court case, once Parliament has finished its work and they transmitted a thing, he assented, irrespective of that, he assented for it to become law.
Which one?
The E-levy.
The E-levy.
Yeah.
And then the same president, in the course of this, all the interventions that have come up, his utterances when he met the diplomatic community and they raised issues. When Kamala Harris came and she raised issues, his commentary on it, never making a definite position, a clear position that I am for this law, this is what my country's position is on it, we will sign it into law. He doesn't make those positions. He always creates room for, let's wait.
But I thought we're in this country when the president said that it will not be under his watch.
Is it, Nana? So I've made this point, I've made this point several times. The issue of legalizing LGBTQI and prescribing it are not the same.
So where lies the president? What is the take of the president?
I'm saying that it is not under my watch. I will not make it legal.
Yeah.
It's not the same as I will prohibit it in law. They are two different things.
Why do you say so?
Because you see, I will not make it legal does not mean that I will go ahead and sign a law which prohibits it.
But the president has said very clear that there are issues in courts.
No, so I was, until you asked me the question, I was
Yeah.
just building a point. That's why I brought in the E-levy one.
Yeah.
And then I said that if you look at the instances I gave, and then just when Parliament did this work, the Ministry of Finance's
letter
statement, which was obviously deliberately leaked, and we all know that it's a strategy that is used.
Yeah.
Strategy to do what?
Yeah.
Oh, it's obviously to build a certain narrative.
Yeah.
About, well, if you have not thought about it and you just
Yeah.
have been thinking about this, that, these are the repercussions.
Yes, this is what you're about to
And
lose.
then to go ahead and say that on the basis of this, so it's like a position paper. Mr. President, we know this is coming to you, but on the basis of these repercussions, we think that you shouldn't do it. And then the next thing is that you see this cease and desist letter, and the president seeks to rely on something that he didn't rely on earlier.
Which is what?
The e-levy.
Which is the issue that somebody has gone to court, and therefore don't even serve me with it.
Yeah.
And then 2, the president seeks to do something that in his earlier position, when he decided not to assent to a bill, the route he chose, the route that he used, which is what the Constitution prescribes. On this particular occasion, he decided not to use that route, but to use a route that is unknown.
Yeah. So what is
unknown to the Constitution, unknown to convention.
So what is the import of
I am saying that when you put all that together, the issue of the president having said that it will not happen under my watch, does not suffice.
Okay. So you say that when you put all of these things together, you doubt the president's commitment.
Yes.
Okay. But what the president has said is that because the issues are in court, he would prefer to wait. You can raise the issue that will show something. I've said to you that this one raises constitutional issues as against the e-levy one. But whatever it is, if you say that it raises inconsistent issues, well, you are within your rights to make that thing. I don't have a problem. But the stated reason that the presidency has given is that, and we all know the major issues that have been raised by civil society. Unless we are
some civil society organizations.
Unless we are going to say that the civil society people too were part of some plots, which I don't believe. But major issues have been raised by civil society organizations and individuals about the constitutional implications of this bill. That's been that we all know. And they've actually proceeded to take the matter to court. So if the president says that, I'm going to wait for the court to decide, that's the reason that he's given. If tomorrow the court rules that the bill doesn't offend any human rights of any kind, then the president must sign. If he doesn't sign at that point, then we can say that, but president, that means that you are in favor of LGBT. But until we reach that point.
So what stopped the president? What stopped the president?
Yeah.
From accepting the bill?
Yeah.
And informing Parliament in writing?
So, but
as the Constitution prescribes.
But we have all said that it could be tidier.
So now that's why I said that when you look at all the issues surrounding it,
you also must look at the issue.
It's difficult.
Yeah, very difficult.
It's difficult to accept that. It's just.
We are not zombies.
I have said to you that if you come away with that impression based on the things that have happened, it's your legitimate concern. But the official reason given by the president is also a legitimate reason. And the president has also said very clearly to this guy, I don't know if it's a State of the Nation address or something, but he was very categorical that he would not, as president, legitimize LGBTQ.
But that's not on the table.
Sorry?
That's not on the table.
What is on the table?
What is on the table is the
bill.
No, what is on the table? The bill.
Yes.
Is about legislating against it.
Yes. And the president has said he doesn't support legislating against it.
What the president has said is that it is not under my watch or on my watch.
That it will
be legislated.
Yes.
But that is not on the table.
What is on the table is legitimate. What do you call it?
So they are
outlawing.
So there are two forms here. There are two forms of
the president hasn't said that he is against outlawing it. He said that there are constitutional issues raised I would like to wait.
Has the president ever said?
One second. I would like to wait for those constitutional issues to be resolved. You have said that, oh, but there were some other issues that there were court issues raised.
Yes.
So, and in those one or two instances, the president signed. So you can raise the issue of inconsistency if you like.
Yeah, but not in a vacuum. The point I'm making is
the reason that the president gave is that these are constitutional issues, and so let me wait. You are saying that in some other instance he didn't wait. I'm saying that.
In fact, the president even didn't say that there are constitutional issues. What he said was that his attention has been drawn to
a court case.
Yes.
Yes.
Which really is the injunction.
Okay. So in that case, then if you would say that then
he says it's settled law.
Yes, yes. And then sorry.
He says it's settled law that when there is an injunction, everybody stays their hands off until a determination.
And there's no injunction.
There was an application for an injunction.
Yeah.
Yes.
And does it serve as an injunction? An application for injunction?
You could interpret it to say
because we still haven't settled this thing clearly. Unfortunately, none of us is.
I think the Supreme Court has settled it.
What did they say?
You see, even by their ruling on the FEMOPO.
Yeah.
You know the earlier on the Amanda Odwe one.
Which one is that?
One of the issues. There's the Richie Sky and there's the Amanda Odwe.
Okay.
Now, when this issue was at the second stage of second reading, Amanda Odwe went for an injunction and raised the same issues, the human rights issues and all that. And the Supreme Court's position was that Parliament cannot be prevented
from doing its work.
And so they did not grant that thing.
Yeah.
And Parliament went ahead. Then, the same, the FAMACBO, is also asking for Parliament to be stopped from carrying out its functions. The Supreme Court says that no. Now, what the
Supreme Court says no to what?
It says that no, we cannot grant you the injunction.
Okay.
Yes. Now, what these people are also asking for, is
the civil society people.
No, the civil society groups have not gone to court. The two issues in court are the Richie Sky and the Dr. Amanda Odwe.
Okay.
Those are the two issues.
Okay.
So now the thing is that the president says that don't come and serve me with the thing because the matters are in court. Per the Supreme Court's position on the matter, it says that you can't stop Parliament from doing this.
Well, we've agreed that is
now. If the transmission of the bill to the president is part of Parliament's legislative function, then it stands to reason that the position of the Supreme Court is that in the course of doing its legislative function, you can't stop it.
But we've talked about that.
Yes. So why does the president then rely on that? And to say that it is a settled law?
You don't agree with the president relying on that. Obviously. But that, to stretch it to mean that then the president is in favor of LGBT.
I have not said so. I have not said so.
That's the matter on the table.
No, I have not said so.
But nobody.
But the matter on the table is whether the president supports, from Sami's long lecture, whether the president supports. He says that actions are not consistent. And
Yes,
so on.
yes, they're not consistent. They are not matching the rhetoric.
Yes, but I'm saying that doesn't mean that the president is in favor of LGBTQ activities. That's the bottom line. Because he's actually made statements.
Give the Ghanaian people confidence by your conduct.
We politicians always have a confidence deficit. You know that. Or you don't know. We always have confidence. The public.
How convenient.
No, so that one is not an issue. The issue is that the president has come out very clearly to tell the nation that he will not be the person to legitimize LGBTQ. Now there's a law. There's a bill that is seeking to proscribe the activities. The president has said there are human rights issues raised in courts. Let's wait for it to be settled. My interest is that let's urge the courts to rule quickly on this matter.
Rule quickly on what? The injunction?
On the whole issue of the human
Are you saying that the president must wait for the substantive matter to be decided before?
But the substantive matter can be dealt with in a couple of days.
No, but
there are human rights issues.
You spoke about precedence.
Yeah.
Do you know what this means for governance in this country? That any time the president must take a decision somebody can go to court and say that, or anytime Parliament.
Okay, so let's wait for the injunction application.
Yes, that's fair.
Yeah, but I'm saying that the issues that are being raised, they are not really complex. It's a matter of looking at the bill clause by clause by clause and deciding whether some clause there.
The point is, that first
and
of
I believe
all,
one second, I
the
believe
thing
that
must become law.
Sorry?
First of all, it must become law.
Before.
Yes.
Yeah, then the Supreme Court should say so.
Yes, it must become law before you strike out anything.
Listen, I don't have a problem with that.
Otherwise, the legislative process prescribes for how clauses in bills are dealt with.
Exactly.
Yes. Now I'm saying,
and you see, this has been the most publicly discussed and imputed piece of legislation in the history of this parliament by the president's chief legal advisor. Made input.
Yes.
This matter went on over 300 organizations and individuals.
But does that remove the fact that
made
in court, there's an injunction?
If you have any concerns, your attorney general was there at the table.
No, I'm saying that does that remove the fact that there's an injunction process?
It
doesn't. So this people are bringing the attorney general.
These are clear shenanigans.
Clear shenanigans.
Because you people, your finance minister says you lose $3.8 billion. That's how you've reduced us to reduce our sovereignty, reduce our values.
So now he's ascribing
to pecuniary interest.
The president hasn't.
Why? I wrote that letter. And the head of the economic management team, where was he? He is now after a lot of agitation and hue and cry. He now is going after the fact, going to
anyway.
Deceive the Islamic club.
I hope you are.
I'm going to leave you in 2 seconds.
Let's stop this thing.
No, we are done.
Oh, we are done. Give him a few minutes.
We are done.
I could leave.
We are done.
No consistency.
Gentlemen, thanks.
No respect for the people.
Have a great weekend.
Now he says that there's no
respect.
There's no respect for the people.
Mrs. Esther Kumo,
it's your birthday.
Happy birthday to you, Mrs. Esther Kumo, from your husband, the Honorable Patrick Kumo. Happy birthday to you, Esther. Okay. I'm told that today is the birthday of Araba Kumsin of Multimedia. So Araba, it's your birthday.
Araba, congratulations.
Happy birthday.
I hear now she says she's into big time farming.
Yes. I've been seeing her post, yeah. Very professional, very professional journalist.
It's a good,
celebrated, yeah.
It's a good
happy birthday.
It's a good message that she's sending out to everybody.
Yeah.
True. I mean, it's I don't want to use a certain word, but it's to be fair.
You mean it's farming can be sexy? That's what you want to say. Anyway, so up next, GMG Trends. Right, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. Yeah, with a star boy, Desi.
No, good morning.
Desi Moshino.
Dog, many anji.
What the life?
Oh, dog, many anji.
Many anji are there.
My Muslim friends didn't give me anything to chew.
When it was Christmas, did you send them any chicken? Idiocy for idiocy.
It's okay. I can't do it again.
I mean, they were sharing food throughout the week.
A whole tornado. Tornado never came here.
He was riding horses yesterday.
Okay.
So maybe
today
today is when he will get his wife
to do something for us. Okay.
So he still has one wife, right? Or he has added another?
No, for now.
So
for now he has one. You never know what.
Today is when he will bring the food.
Okay. We'll appreciate that, Tornado.
What about the other one? Who also does the floor something?
Mumin. Oh, yeah, who know? And he's not been here today, so I don't know if he's.
Is Kiki a Muslim?
Oh no. Kiki
not.
He's a Christian. ICGC street. Hey.
Oh.
No. Bishop Dag.
Oh, okay.
First lap.
Okay. Lighthouse.
Yeah, Lighthouse. Or Pastor Chris. Hey,
which one is Pastor Chris?
Pastor Chris is Christ Embassy.
The Nigerian.
Yes, okay. Christ Embassy. Me too, I go to Baptist. Doc.
Yes.
So Dr. Baumia's issue has got a lot of people talking on social
issue?
media. I mean, his pronouncement about his stance on LGBTQ plus. A lot of people. There's a by the mate now has a stance, but the mate and the driver are supposed to be one, so that they can move the car forward. So why would he say that this is a stance, but the presidency and the government which he's part of, the signing of the bill has not been done. So we should wait for him to come before he will do
so what he has said is not different from what the president has said. But the issue is that, like President Mama said the last time, you are not an opposition leader. So when opposition leaders are promising to do things, you, the person in government, can also be promising when you have the power to do it.
True. So let's take a look at some of the tweets that have been going on social media with regards to that particular post by the vice president and the candidate for the New Patriotic Party. So that's that on your screen, as he wrote that on the issue of the LGBTQ. First of all, it's important to note that our culture and societal norms and values as Ghanaians frown on the practice of homosexuality, and it continues down, says that furthermore, therefore I personally cannot support that which my religion and indeed all the major religions in Ghana, as well as our societal norms and values, clearly and unequivocally forbid. So that's the points there. So you go through, then some of the comments also will come in later from there. You see that coming through. So those are some of the things about people writing about what the vice president said. And yeah. The next thing, Doc, is that we are doing Kibabaton. Oh, Doc, there's this young man, he wants to break the record for the longest barbecue marathon. It's called Kibabaton. It's called Atinga Joa. And he started yesterday at the Lagos City War area. And that people were to it's Otutuna, no man was Jabakona.
Free. So who supplied the...
that one there. So that's it. That's it, your shot. Kibabaton.
And idea now.
And I'm here to do. So it's barbecue, so anything that can be.
When you have a kunipa.
So we wanted to see if he can break the record, or he can actually do that. He's going for 90 hours. He started yesterday, and so Charlie, what you trying to understand? What you trying to area? Or my area? Now some could be. I just say, record. So on that note of chewing meat, na salad na my days salad na. What meat is difficult to chew, Doc?
I don't remember. Sometimes it's also the preparation.
But this man, Charlie, look, the man, I don't know what he was trying to get from it. Let's watch the video. When we come back, we'll talk about one other thing, and then we wrap it up.
Aujourd'hui aussi, c'est un autre jour. Là. Le monde part en couille. Non. Ça dit. Aujourd'hui aussi, c'est un autre jour. Là. Le monde part en couille.
I'm trying to figure out what meat that would be.
Maybe an elephant.
Because the way they hold it, like.
But I teeth intact.
That one I would have to check. Because I'm hearing Ojoji, so looks like some French thing going on there. Anyway, we're wrapping up and going into the weekend, but there's one thing that's going on. I know Doc Gen Z. So someone put up a post that if you're a guy, you're supposed to be giving your woman 3K a month for maintenance. And it started a trend on Twitter, the 3K. Can you imagine?
So you must give your woman
3K for maintenance.
3,000 cedis.
A month for maintenance.
Irrespective of your income bracket.
No dear. Day or there. So also be anything. Obey nail. So I cost spa. 3,000 cedis.
Okay, so to give 3,000 cedis for maintenance, then you must be earning a minimum of 10,000.
10,000. Okay.
Minimum.
So that you give 30%.
So you take your tithe out, you'll be left with 9,000.
And then you give 30%, so you're going to have 6,000. Then me my own maintenance. It's funny we said.
But that's why it's only people like you who can. It's only people who can remit your woman 3K.
Jennifer, how much do you want for maintenance? We have closed.
What did she say?
5,000. And I was saying, no, then the sick Hey, Jennifer. Charlie, when I know my pressure give you, if you don't get, there's one way I go give you, or else you. Anyway, today is the birthday of Hamza Suini. May Allah grant you grace and favor in your years ahead. Okay, so it's actually Honorable Suini's younger brother. Hamza.
Oh yeah, Hamza.
Suini, today is your birthday. Happy birthday to you. Say, think about it. What's that? You look.
Listen, that's why I asked whether they dealt with the income bracket. Obviously, because you cannot have a standard figure for everybody. It could be too much for some people. It could be too low for others. You understand me?
Right now, if you
in Ghana, they say something. They say "Namo GFemo."
Namo GFemo.
Enamo.
Enamo.
GFemo.
GFemo. What does that mean?
Enamo. Neya.
Neya.
Ninya.
Ninya.
And a treneyo.
Oh, okay. Ninya and a treneyo. Okay, that's good though. It's also a bracket out to be 300.
Yeah, if you earn 1,000, how much can you give? If you earn 1,500, if you earn 2,000, how much can you give? If you earn 3,000, how much can you give? If you earn 5,000, how much can you give?
The way the system, if someone they hire we present better budget pass you the and
but sometimes people must also invest in the future of people. Sometimes it's not the abinwaha. You know, you look at the person, you look at the person's future prospects, you look at what the person's focus is, what the person's aspirations are, and then you also invest in a person. And investment is not just financial. You can invest in so many ways in a person.
But like the only person who gets his food.
And then, you see, I mean, I was once like you. I hope you understand me. Yes. And you will one day be bigger than me. Yes. I hope you understand what I'm saying. Yes. So there were people when I was like you, they thought that, oh, Charlie, who will be this boy? You know, today is probably too late for them.
If you happen there, that will be
so that's why Emanuela must hold on tight. Yeah.
Good morning to Mr. Sari.
Who's that?
And my headmistress.
Who's Mr. Sari?
Oh,
Emanuela's dad.
No.
Who's that?
My junior high school
headmaster.
Proprietor's husband.
Okay.
So my dad Elizabeth Asari and her husband.
Okay.
They were watching the show now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that one.
I'm sure they'll be so proud of you.
Yeah.
And they will show the students.
When I get to the school, you know, I get, you know.
They see the old student.
And I was school prefect too. So
you were school prefect?
I was school prefect.
Hey.
I'm not going to go.
You're in Tuni Punch, you know.
Okay, that's it for this. Have a great weekend. See you next week.
Oh, yeah, Tuni Punch. I have a picture of it one day. I'll show it to you. Maybe you've seen it already.
The one with
see the picture, the one that I had around. You've seen that picture?
I don't think
on my 50th, it was one of the pictures that were used.
The one I've seen was with yourself and Mr. Mahama.
Ibrahim Mahama.
Yes, that one. Which I guess one, I guess of Yamin I. I was going to call me on you.
Ofon you. Skinny doesn't mean that.
Oh, look, I was skinnier than Kiki.
Kiki.
Right now, Kiki has a trophy, but then times, oh, no, my phone, Kiki. Says,
you're building up. You don't have a six-pack anymore. Now you have a pot. Don't breathe him. Just relax. Just relax. Anyway, so that'll be it for Good Morning Ghana. Up next, Metro Sport.